G'day from Australia, welcome to 30bananasaday.com TV show. Today we're going to talk about Aajonus Vonderplanitz. We want to live and eat raw, rotten, stinky corpses and get food poisoning and vomit all through our talks. So anyways, I think Aajonus is a nice guy in his heart, but I think, man, all that toxic meat has made him go a bit, and all those death cap mushroom and psilocybin experiences. And anyways, let's get stuck into this, shall we? So I've read this whole book for the second time, and written down a few little pages. We've got page 40 here. Because people say, Aajonus doesn't take drugs. And it's like, yes, he does. Here we go. It's we had consumed psilocybin, which is a manufactured chemical form of hallucinogen, and smoked a mixture of hashish and marijuana. At first, Lan and I had a wonderful experience communicating telepathically, and he just goes talking about how his tennis shoes melted against the fire, and how he drifted upon through the ceiling and upstairs apartment. He went through the roof into the sky, moved into the stratosphere and glided through it. Everything went dark as if it were a moonless night, except the stars, which were clear, and the earth, which glowed. So anyway, so Aajonus had his trip, and interesting. So that might explain why later in the book it talks about how Aajonus cycled his bicycle as a fruitarian, and he ran into some challenges. Let's have a look at what Aajonus was eating during that time. Page 116 of the book, We Want to Live. Okay, we have, I regularly ate as much as 3 pounds of nuts a day, 6 avocados, enormous amounts of fruit, and every day I woke up a bit thinner. You know, it's no wonder Aajonus, is staunch against raw veganism. And I don't really blame him, because that sort of diet, 3 pounds of nuts a day, 6 avocados, and enormous amounts of fruit, you're not going to have enough stomach capacity to eat enormous amounts of fruit. And if you could, it's just going to like ferment and make you feel really, really stodgy. Your absorption is going to go downhill, and you're going to become really emaciated. Not like a marathon runner, but you're just going to become emaciated like an anorexic catwalk model, who finds it difficult to lift up a cup of coffee, to get some sort of energy. So that's where we see Aajonus fucked up big time. And hey, it's hard. Back in the day, they didn't have all the information that we have today about, high carbohydrate fruit diets like 80-10-10 by Dr. Douglas Graham and so forth. So that's why people just fuck up on a raw vegan diet, because they just don't know how to do it. That's fine, I understand that. And that's why I make these videos, to inform people and go, this is where you went wrong, and this is why, if you're eating rotten meat and stuff like that. And anyway, so here we go. We'll just finish it up a bit before I go into the next subject. Okay, here we go. This is what I love, because people go, Aajonus is 100% raw, man. It's like he never claims that. But even in his book, he says, the thoughts of delicious, heavily gutted garlic bread came to mind. I knew it was instinct, my body telling me what it needed to raise my blood pressure. I went back into my apartment and ate a raw clove of garlic with French bread, fresh pineapple, and lots of raw, unsalted butter. Within moments, I felt better, satisfied. I decided from then on that at least 70% of my diet would consist of raw foods. 70%, was that volume, calorically? We don't know. But what we do know is Aajonus eats a lot of cooked food. But people are so ignorant to that, so they, try to just live on 100% raw meat, dairy, eggs, and just like a little bit of fruit, a little bit of honey. And no wonder people's teeth are falling out. I mean, Aajonus has got false teeth himself. Look at his video on YouTube where he's on that the doctor show in America with the extreme diets. You can see Aajonus's teeth. It's like, hey, you go, I got an egg. False teeth. And again, your teeth rot out from that, because it's just so acid forming. The body has to leach calcium from the bones and teeth to neutralize the acidity from the raw animal products, cooked or raw. Animal products are acid forming, and we know that. The Eskimos, their teeth rotted out. They proved it for us. So that covers the book Aajonus Vonderplanitz, We Want to Live. Anyone who reads it, it's a pretty fun read. I recommend people reading it, and then you can sort of pick out, oh, this is where Aajonus made a mistake, and this is what's nonsense, and doing drugs isn't the best thing to do. So yeah, and just one more thing, page 65. Aajonus talks about he had a fruitarian friend, or had a friend who recommended he go fruitarian, and this is what he said. So his friend is Lanny. I failed Lanny in 74 and 75. I was still a die-hard fruitarian vegetarian. I encouraged him to fast and follow a raw fruitarian diet. His digestion improved and he felt better, but he was prone to low blood sugar, hypoglycemia. I didn't realize then, as I was ignorant, that a fruitarian or vegetarian diet is often rapid debilitation for people with hypoglycemia. Hang on, hypoglycemia, let's break it down scientifically. Hypo stands for low, glycemia means sugar. So we've got low blood sugar. So eating fruit's bad for low blood sugar when fruit raises your blood sugar, and with all its fibers like pectin and guar raises it slowly, glucose and fructose. It's like, hang on, it's like saying your car's broken down from not enough petrol, not enough gas, gas glycemia, but you're not going to put more gas in to get it started. That's just like nutty, So that's where we see, and obviously people go on a fruit diet, they eat a couple of bits of fruit and they sort of feel better for a bit, but it's not enough. So then they crash later on and go, I tried fruitarianism and I got really weak and I don't know, I need some raw eggs or something, yeah. That ain't the solution. The solution is eat enough fruit, keep your fat low throughout the year, get your water and sleep, and that's all those things I talk about all the time. So interesting. So that's Aajonus Vonderplanitz. Aajonus came to Australia recently and did a talk in Robina, Queensland, August 2009, I'm pretty sure it was. Anyways, halfway through the talk, Aajonus says, oh, I've got a full-on headache. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to talk for. And Aajonus ends up sitting in a pool and vomiting over the side of the balcony into the garden. Just kept going, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's just like, what, And anyway, so he ends up spending a night in a bathtub, just continually vomiting full on, could have almost died, full on. And people were just like, what's going on? I thought this raw meat diet's meant to be good. And the dude who's giving the talk is chronically sick and ill and vomiting and near death. It's like, what's going on, man? Wake up. Rotten meat is for the vultures, man. That's why it stinks. Even Aajonus says, don't keep this meat in your house because it's going to stink too much. So it's like saying, don't keep your mangoes in the house, they'll stink too much. It's insanity. We have noses above our mouth to let us know food is good. Meat stinks, raw, cooked, otherwise. It's rotting corpse. It belongs in the poor animal that got murdered. Or if it's roadkill, it belongs for the eagles and vultures and foxes and true carnivores. Anyway, so that was interesting. And my friend, he's been misled by Aajonus. I've got a few friends and their teeth are starting to fall out and it's really sad because, it's full on. Anyways, I'll cut to the chase. My friend, last week, he felt really crook. His lymph glands swelled up so much it enclosed his throat. He couldn't breathe. He could breathe. He couldn't swallow water or take in any food. So he put himself in the hospital. They took him in an ambulance down to another hospital and put him on an intravenous drip of antibiotics and some steroids to help open up his throat. And he felt better the next day. So he claims they saved his life. But he's eating rotten meat and eggs and milk. He's a nice guy, but people just get a bit, confused. And when you're desperate, you'll try anything. It's crazy. So people's teeth are falling out. People are going to hospital from food poisoning. Aajonus himself is vomiting in his talks. It's insane. Parasitic infestations, pathogenic infections, saturated fats, cholesterol, gout, uric acid, all these things, environmental destruction, your teeth destruction, blah, 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 on and on and on. How much do we need to go before we start to say no? Increase the peace, go vegan, eat enough carbs from your favourite sweet fruits, get your sleep, get your hydration so you piss and clear 10 times a day, and let's rock and roll. Yo.